Okay, so now we're recording. It's so weird because you guys are all Brazilians and like, but okay. So who wants to start with the first question? So I'm gonna start with answering the questions and then I'm gonna jump into a little bit more depth. One at a time. Lillian, I know you had a question because you posted on the group there. The difference between free weights and resistance bands, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So basically from a tension standpoint, so the muscle understands tension. It doesn't matter where the tension is coming from. If you're lifting a sack of rice, if you're lifting a dumbbell, if you're lifting with a resistance band, that doesn't really matter. The thing is, people don't use the resistance bands correctly. They don't usually they don't maximize what the resistance band offer. So I'm gonna give you an example. Let me grab something here. So I have a few of them here. These tube ones are the most common, right? And they're this pull-up ones, which are stronger. So they offer more resistance. The great benefit of this is that the resistance, the tension, is actually throughout the entire movement, right? As opposed to the dumbbell that when it comes to this, when you're curling like this, when the dumbbell hits here, it usually is easier for you, right? It's only harder in the bottom portion of the movement. With the resistance band, it's actually harder all throughout the movement. Now, if you use a tube like this, and you're actually just lifting, going through the motions like this, you're not gonna get a whole lot out of it. But now, if you just step a little bit closer, step in a different position here, and leave a little bit less resistance band, you're gonna have a higher resistance. So it's actually harder for you to do the movement. So you gotta make it in a way, you gotta use the resistance bands in a way that it challenges your muscle over time, right? It's easier to do that with a dumbbell, with weights, because it's easy for you to pick a 10-pound one, a 20-pound dumbbell, 40-pound dumbbell, or whatever. But you can do that with the resistance bands if you have a good set. What I like to recommend is to have at least one set like this that comes in different resistance levels, right? So this one is a little bit lighter, this one is a little bit stronger, and then you got the other one, which is a little bit heavier. It will offer a higher resistance. And then you also have the option of buying this pull-up bands, which can assist you doing your first chin-ups, but you can also mount it around, strap it around your door or whatever, and it's a little bit heavier. It's there are certain exercises that you can do with this ones that you can't with the tube ones, right? So it's just a matter of having a good selection. I've seen some, I don't know where people are getting them, and I don't know if one of you guys have those, but they look like a piece of fabric, like they're super, super thin, super light. I don't think that those are the best options because they don't offer a whole lot of resistance or possibilities to increase the resistance throughout. Now, what that probably all of you guys should have is the glute band. And I think you all have, except for Carol. I don't know. No, Carol, you don't have? Yeah, so these ones are really, really good for abduction because we're training at home and we have limited access to free weights. We have limited access to machine. Majority of us are training at home, right? And there are certain exercises, there are abduction exercises. Abduction exercises are the one that works your side glutes here. This is very, very, very important to strengthen your glutes. And when you strengthen your glutes, you actually prevent knee pain, you prevent low back pain. It is extremely important to train the abductors. And we only have a few options of exercises that you can do that don't use any other type of resistance, right? Or with only body weight. Now, if you have a glute band, you can add a ton of other possibilities to work your abductors. So have a good set of this. This I got from the glute guy, Brett Contreras. He sells his on his website, but I think it takes a while to get here because it comes from the States. So there are other options on Amazon. And I'll send you guys the link as well right after. But I know I went on a bit of a tangent here, but does that answer the question a little bit?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, good, good. And what else? Someone else, I think it was Shauna, and she's not here, but she was asking about working out barefoot. If there's a problem, because she doesn't have any problem, and she was asking about that. And I'm a big fan of working out barefoot. Even at the gym, you guys can see videos of myself working out at the gym completely barefoot. And why? Every movement, especially if you're doing strength training, if you're lifting weights, you got to have a foundation. Your foot is the foundation for all the movements you do. So if you're squatting, your movement starts with your foot. And depending on the type of shoes that you're wearing, it actually it works as if you're trying to squat on a mattress, right? It doesn't offer stability, and that lack of stability can actually prevent you from squatting correctly. And if you don't squat correctly, you're not taking full advantage of that exercise. Same thing for lunges. I often see people wearing like running shoes and trying to do lunges, and their foot goes like this, right? It's very, very unstable. And that instability that starts with the foot goes all the way to the ankle, and then the knee, and then the hip joints, and the whole movement pattern is affected because you don't have a good, solid, stable foundation down on the foot. So I'm a big fan. There's no problem whatsoever. I actually encourage you guys to try to work out barefoot. Of course, that doesn't apply for cardio, only for strength training. So especially for lunges, squats, even upper body movements that require a lot of core stability, try doing those barefoot. And you see, you'll be able to feel the connection between your foot and the ground, and the stability that brings to the whole entire movement. So no, there's no problem whatsoever with training barefoot, and I actually encourage you guys to do that. Have any of you been working out barefoot or no?
Totally, every day. Actually, I just put some shoes on just for actually do my leg trainings because I have to.
Yeah.
I don't know, working from home, almost naked.
Okay, but now you know that if you want, you can work out barefoot. It's actually better for the movement. So go ahead and work barefoot with no problem. Okay, any questions?
I have a question about the resting time. So for example, I know that you put, for example, 90 seconds or 1 minute or 30 seconds. I know that you may have we have do this in some purpose. Just to understand it, because I think one of my trainings for biceps is like 30 seconds, or for my triceps is actually 30 seconds and actually, gosh, it's crazy to do that. But just to make sure that it actually has some purpose.
It does have a purpose, yes. So the rest periods, you guys will notice that I set the rest periods depending on the type of workouts of the exercises that you're doing. So exercises that requires more of your body, requires more than one joint, like squats, bench press, chin up, lunges, more challenging exercises, let's put it that way. Those exercises will require a higher rest period. So around 1 minute until 2 to sometimes 3 minutes, depending on how advanced you are, because I want you to recover completely. Those are very challenging to your nervous system. So it's not only for your muscles, but for your nervous system as a whole. And I want you to be able to on the next set, to perform as well as you did on the first set. Try doing a set of walking lunges and rest for just 30 seconds and try doing another one. You're not going to perform as well. You're probably going to die in the middle of it. So it is important to have a higher rest period when we're talking about multi-joint exercises, compound exercises. Now, on the single joint exercises like the bicep curl, the tricep extensions, sometimes the leg curl, leg extensions, exercises that if you notice, those are at the end of your workouts. Those are exercises that it doesn't take too long for your body to recover. Yes, it's more challenging cardiovascular wise, so you feel that you're working more, but from a whole body kind of perspective, you recover a lot faster from them and you're able to perform a lot more. And the intention of those exercises, those single joint exercises, you also notice that they have shorter rest periods and higher rep ranges, because we're trying to achieve some metabolic hypertrophy there. And I don't want to step into that direction too much, but metabolic work usually is that burn, that pump sensation that you get at the end of the workout, and usually when you do high reps. So yes, there's a purpose, and the rest periods should be respected as they are on the workouts, on the training session. Make sense?
Totally, thank you.
No problem. Okay, do you guys know how to choose the proper weight for each exercise?
I just want to say that I love the rest.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I think I have a bad connection, but I may say that I love the resting time during the workout. That's the best part.
That's the best part.
I was so happy. Yeah, and I was so happy because now for this new session, I have 90 seconds instead of 30 or 60. Thank you so much, coach.
You need to recover. You need to recover for the next one. But wait until Friday's workout. You haven't seen it yet, right?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, but yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to join you guys next week. If I will survive.
You'll survive. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Oh well. Okay, so choosing proper weights. Are you guys okay with that, with selecting the weight according to the number of reps that you need to do, or you kind of have a hard time selecting the right way to start an exercise?
Can you hear me, Andrea?
Yeah.
I have a very bad connection. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you
I don't
well.
know if I know how to choose the weight, but I don't have many options because I don't have any equipment at home.
Mhm.
So it's quite hard for me. And then of course I need to do more repetitions because I can have like heavier weight for my workouts. I don't know if
Mhm.
the same happens with the others.
Yeah. Most of you guys will have some sort of equipment at home, but we'll also deal with this ceiling of not having too much options to choose from, right? And that happens even with me here. I just have dumbbells to use as a weight and resistance bands. So that's what I have to work with. Even today, I was doing my workout and I had 12 repetitions of goblet squats. And I had already loaded my dumbbell to the max, which was, I don't remember how much it is, but I think it's like 20 pounds because it's not that much. I have that sat that's up to
Yeah, it's
66
12
pounds.
kilograms, I think.
Yeah, so it's
I don't
light,
recall.
right? At the
Yeah,
gym, I used to pick like the 50 pound, the 70 pound dumbbell. So it's definitely a decrease, right? So I got to the 12th rep because I had that number in my mind because that was the number that I needed to hit. My mind started to want to give up, right? I started to talk to myself like, oh, okay, it's 12, it's good, okay, you're done. But I knew that my body could do more, and I don't like high repetitions. I don't personally. I'd rather lift heavy weight for very few reps than the opposite. Um, some people are the opposite than me, right? Um, so yeah, so I got to the 12th rep, and I'm like, oh, I just feel like I can do more, but I got to the 12, so this is good enough. I'm like, you know what, Andrea? Get to 20. You can do 20. Let's go. And it's a mind work, right? Because your mind gives up before your body does. And I had to push myself real hard mentally to get to that 20th rep. And that's what was required for me to get to almost failure. So that's something that you guys should take home too, because our mind gives up before our body does all the time, every working session. And if I were to work out or to, coach you guys individually in person, you would probably be able to do 50% more work than you guys do on your own, just because of that mind work. It's so easy to talk ourselves out of one more rep, one more set, a little bit more weight. And because we don't have a lot of weight to work with at home, we have to do higher reps. We have to push through and do higher reps. That's how we progress, right? Strength training, like the lifting weights, it's not just something that you do randomly. And yeah, as long as I'm feeling the pump, as long as I'm feeling the muscles and I'm sweating and I feel sore, it's all good. Not really, because you got to be able to make progress over time. That's called progressive overload. Of course, that the strength training is just the initial stimuli to tell your muscles that there needs to be something built there, right? It's the breakdown part of things. And then your recovery, sleep, stress management, etc., plus your nutrition will help recover those muscle tissues, and they will grow stronger and bigger. So that's what it does. So the workout is just the initial part. If you do your workout really well and you don't have your nutrition and you don't have your recovery, nothing happens. And that's how your body adapts to that initial stimuli. But to make my point with the progressive overload, you got to be able to do more over time, because if you're doing everything wrong, if you're doing everything right, your body is adapting to that stimulus, and it is recovering, and it is building muscle, right? Or increasing the number of muscle cells, muscle fibers, they're getting stronger. And if you keep applying the same level of resistance, the same level of input, it won't have anything to actually build. It won't need to build anything. It's just the same thing. You're not building on top of what you've already built. So you got to be able to progress over time. And one of the easiest way to do that is to increase weight. We all know that. Increase weight over time. We have limited access to that now. So best way, or one of the easiest ways for us to do that, is to increase the rep ranges, increase the repetition numbers. And I'm not going to be able to adjust that on an individual level every single week. So you guys gotta do the work and just use that number of repetitions as a guide, not as a set in stone number that you have to hit. Because when we have a lot of load, a lot of options, a lot of weights to work with, you see the 12, okay, I gotta do 12 reps. So I'm gonna pick a weight that's going to allow me to do 12 reps, and that last rep is going to be really, really hard. I don't know what set of weights you're going to use for that. But when you don't have that, you got to use that 12 as just a guide. She wants me to do 12. Let me pick some adapted weight that I have here. Let me grab some resistance bands. I'll try 12 and I'll see how I feel. On the 12th set, you can do more, then do more. And make sure you log, right? Make sure you log it in the app so we know and we can follow your progress throughout the weeks. Because that's what we want. We want you to make progress. And increasing repetitions, decreasing rest periods sometimes, improving range of motions, and sometimes doing more challenging exercises that works the same muscle group is a way of progressive overload. So if you started out doing push-ups on the wall and now you do push-ups on an incline, and then in a few weeks you're doing push-ups off the floor, that's progress. So you are getting stronger over time, even though you haven't used any weight whatsoever. Make sense? So always look at that repetition number as a guideline, just that. And for some exercises, you're going to be able to do a lot more than what's there. For other exercises, you're not going to be able to hit that number, but it's a number that I want you to strive for. Push-up is a good example, right? Push-up is a very challenging exercise, especially if done correctly. The more correctly you do the push-up, the harder it becomes. So if you do like half-fast push-ups, you can do 50 easily, but like real focused push-ups with full range of motion, chest to the ground, that's hard. So if I set like a goal of 8 to 10 reps of push-ups, and right now you can only do 4, that doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, I'm so weak, I can't even do 10 push-ups. No. This is what you can do right now with the strength that you have. You will make progress over time, week after week, until you get to that 8 to 10 rep range. Right? So that's a number that I want you to start for. Okay, so right now I do 4. I want to hit 10. Let's see if next week I can add 1 more. Right? And if I can't add 1 more, can I do it more? Can I do it better? Can I perform it better? Does that make sense? Great. Okay, you guys are quiet because I've been talking the whole time.
I'll have to go. I have to go now. See you guys later.
Thank you so much for popping in.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Any more questions, guys, regarding training? Any exercise
I have a
substitutions?
question.
Yes. Yeah. Hello?
Hi, my back.
I can't
Your
hear
voice is
you.
steady.
Yeah.
Your voice is
Hi,
steady.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we
Now, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Are you still there? Hello? Hello? She's gone. I think the connection was bad. Does anyone wants to ask something regarding training?
Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
I don't know. I have a
Hi.
question.
Yes.
So, is it normal? So I noticed that, for example, if I'm doing lunges, right, and I do lunges for, I don't know how long, like 4 weeks or whatever, and then I do other exercises, and then when I go back to the lunges, sometimes, although I haven't increased the number of repetition, I feel like that it's hard. Like, not that it's hard, but I mean, it's I don't know, for some reason, because I went back to the same that I was doing like a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and like it began to be a bit difficult. I don't know if I don't know if it's my brain playing a trick or something. Not that I decrease the number of repetition, but it is still hard.
Yeah.
Although when I finished the 4 weeks, for example, doing lunges, for example, it was
Yeah.
kind of not easy, but it was like normal. But then when I got back, starting to doing the same exercise,
Yeah.
it just got back to be difficult as I was never done it before. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So let me see if I understand. So you do, let's say for the next 4 weeks, you have lunges on your workouts, and then you spend some more time not doing them, doing other exercises.
Yes.
And then after that period, you go back to doing lunges again, and it becomes more difficult. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, not
Okay.
more difficult, but it looks like, because I was progressing throughout the 4 weeks.
Okay.
At the end of the 4 weeks, before you change the training,
Mm-hmm.
it was okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy, because it can be easy. It's just
Yeah.
okay to do
Walking
it.
lunges are never easy.
Yeah, but then when I return to do it, the way I feel is like I've never done it before.
Okay. It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal.
It's not my brain playing tricks.
No. It's called specificity. The principle of specificity. You get good at what you train for, right? So if you haven't done, so the idea is to get you to make progress on, the idea is to help your muscles to grow throughout your journey, right, throughout the entire program. And we can do that by different ways, and one of them is choosing different exercises, so making exercise selection, selecting different exercises that will activate the same muscle. If we kept the same exercises throughout the entire program, you'd probably get bored. Two, you wouldn't be challenging your muscles enough to create a stimulus to actually make it grow. Does that make sense? So, and then
Yeah.
if you stop doing something for a while and then you go back to doing that something, even though you have done that before, you had lost strength. It is normal because you were not specifically using that exercise in your program for the past few weeks.
Yeah,
So
because
it is normal.
yeah,
It is completely normal. Yeah.
Okay. No, because sometimes even decrease a little bit. Like I used to do 20, and I can see on the app, right? Because he records all the reps that you did it before.
Yeah.
So and I was like frustrated because I could do it like 20, and now I doing 15, and I can, I truly was trying to get at least the minimum of what I used to do.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah.
also
And
it depends what is the combo as well, right? Because I felt like it depends, because the Fridays workout that you gave me, it killed me. I couldn't walk for 3 days.
Okay. Fair enough.
And one of the exercises, there's a new exercises, but some others that were like I used to do it before at Fiti Casa.
Yeah.
So then I did it again, and I was just like, this is so hard. Why is it?
It's completely normal, Bruna. Completely normal. Even like myself, anyone who stops doing a certain exercise for a while and then they go back to start doing that exercise again, they will notice a decrease in performance, and you'll notice an increase in performance higher than the last time. So when you get to the 4th week of this program, you'll be able to do more lunges and feel a little bit easier than the first time around, because you've actually become stronger. It happens to everyone. Myself, I wasn't doing chin-ups at home because I didn't have, and I don't have yet, a chin-up bar. Before this whole freaking lockdown, I was able to do 12 to 15 chin-ups, like chest to the bar, perfectly. The last time I tried, I couldn't even do 2.
Wow, what a decrease. Sorry.
We lose what we don't use. If we're not doing chin-ups, we're going to decrease our strength on chin-ups. If we're not doing squats, we're going to lose our strength on squats, and so on and so forth. Push-ups, the same thing. I have not been doing push-ups very often, as I used to, so I lost some strength, and now I'm not able to do as many reps as I used to do before. So it's normal. It's normal. Once you stop, and that's why you guys will see that I don't swap around with a lot of different exercises. They may look different sometimes, but they have the same pattern. So if you look closely, the lunges, they have the same pattern, the same movement pattern as a squat, right? You're flexing the knees pretty much. And then we'll just increase the level of difficulty depending on the level that you guys are. Like the Bulgarian split squat, that's for a little bit more advanced, right? Because it's a little bit more challenging than the traditional lunges, but it's the same movement pattern. So we're gonna play around with a few options within the same movement patterns, so you guys can actually make progress within those things. Make sense?
Yeah, the single, what's it called? Single leg box squat killed me totally. It's so hard.
Yep.
And the one that I felt the pain in my entire in my entire belly was the slider elbow body shaw. Oh my God, that was really hard. I don't know. I felt I don't know. I was feeling pain for laughing, eating anything, like at all. It was really hard. And the trick is when you see the exercise, you think, oh, it looks
easy.
Oh, my God. No, my mistake. Totally underestimated.
Yeah, exercises that challenges your stability and your core are usually, they look super easy, but they're very challenging. Example, bird dog, right, Cutoff?
Andrea, really, I think it's too early for you to, set that exercise. For me, I can't do that.
You can't
Bird
yet,
dog, oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah, so
It is
that's
hard.
my question. Can I ask my question now?
Yes.
I don't know if there is any other newbie here in terms of working out, like in this working out world, because it's the first time in my life that I'm working out. So some things are very difficult for me. And I feel that I struggle a lot sometimes. And this may be a very basic question, but you always tell me to focus on the muscles we are working on that specific exercise.
Mhm.
But then, do I don't know if is there any muscle in my body? I mean, it's quite difficult for me to focus on the muscle and count the repetitions and breathe and listen to the song and, try to, I don't think I have all this motor coordination to focus on the muscle, try to find the muscle and focus on it, and then breathe, and then count the repetitions and try to do the exercise correctly. So the beginning of this process for me is being quite difficult. So before I start working out, I watch those videos like times and times because I try to memorize all the details and then I try to perform the same way.
Mhm.
I don't know, is there any other easier way to do that? Because it's difficult for me to know which muscle I'm working on and try to focus on that muscle.
Can
I
I?
don't know if I could make me clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
I just tell my experience, Andrea,
Yeah.
before you say something?
Yeah, because you started from zero, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I did. Well, I went to the gym like long time ago, years ago, but I just did without, without any professional, anyways, help. The first time, the first exercise, the first workout program that I started with Andrea at Fit in Casa, I spent, no joke, 3 hours and a half to do like 4 exercises and three reps. Like for each exercise I have to do 3 times. I spent 3 hours and a half because I couldn't know how to breathe, how to properly get the muscle that I need to feel pain, because Andrea said, no, you have to feel the glutes, you have to feel the leg, you have to feel the whatever, and I didn't feel it. And then I like really the workout was supposed to spend like 40 minutes. I spent 3 hours and a half because I couldn't do the exercise properly. And yes, it was like I didn't have any coordinate, like I couldn't coordinate anything, like I couldn't. It was so really funny. And of course at the time it was kind of frustrated because I'm like, oh my god, it's 3 hours now and I didn't haven't finished that. Yeah, but you will get there, don't worry, you will. It's a pain in the time.
Thank you, Bruna.
Don't worry. If you see my, what's it called? I don't think it was lunges. I think it was the one that you have to pull the weight with the broomstick.
Mhm.
I forgot the name for that exercise. Oh my god, it was totally uncoordinated. Like I couldn't do it. It was so. Don't worry, you'll get there. You'll get
Thank you,
better.
Bruna. Thank you so much. And it's exactly what you said. Like you get there, but this is actually very good feedback because that's definitely something that we can do some more education on, because that's a really good question. It's not a silly question, it's a very good question, because it's so natural for people who are working out for a very long time, or who know, like who has been in this setup for a while, to like easily know, oh, okay, this is a glute exercise, so I should feel my glutes. Oh, this is a quad exercise. This is, and we forget that for those of you who are starting from never working out ever, that's a totally different story. That's too many things, right? It's like learning how to drive. You have to pay attention to the rear view mirror, and then you have to pay attention to this and this and that, and it's too many things at once. But once you get the groove going, once you get used to the entire process, you'll get a lot better, just like driving. But instead of trying to focus on too many things at once, I think one thing that would help you would try to focus on just one thing. Like, don't pay attention to your breathing for now. Try to pay attention just to trying to identify, and that's not knowing exactly, but trying to identify which part of your body you're working during the workout, right? And see if you feel anything different. That's a good start, right?
Yeah, for example, for the bird dog,
yeah,
what are we working on when we do the bird dog exercise?
The whole body.
Yeah, but
core stability.
Yeah, and then today I was trying to do that, like slowly, and I was focusing on my core. I said, okay, I can do that. I will do it. And then I realized I wasn't breathing, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die doing this. So that's why I decided to ask you this question, because I was so focused on my core that I wasn't breathing. You know, this is so crazy.
It's
totally
normal. It's
totally
normal.
normal.
Yeah. It's so normal. So normal. One thing that will help you is to send me your videos. You haven't sent me any videos yet. At least like for those exercises that you feel that are a little bit more challenging for you. Record yourself, like a short 30-second clip should be enough. Just so I can see if there's any cues or anything specific to you that I can point out and say, hey, Carol, no, here, tweak like this, do like that, move like this. And that can probably help you with identifying what you need to feel.
Okay, thank you. I will try to.
I want to actually add something that when I started the program that actually helped me a lot was I don't know the pronunciation for this, the stretching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, gosh, I lost actually I lost actually the notion how big I was. So sometimes, for example, even for actually doing the stretching exercises and actually moving on the floor and something like that helped me to understand where my body was. For example, sometimes we when we don't do or don't move our body, we actually lose the idea, okay, my leg is there, or for example, the first exercise, oh, you need to actually be your posture is like that. And I was trying to do that, and gosh, I was like totally wrong, but I couldn't do anything better. So Andrea actually helped me, oh, do the stretching, and actually was just 10 minutes per day. And after the first 2 weeks, so gosh, you know, you can feel better. For example, if your legs, your ankles, my chest when I was actually starting doing the exercises. So maybe these 10 minutes per day can help you out to actually feel your body better, because sometimes it's not actually just a workout. It's actually us that we that get lost with actually what our body is trying to tell us.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Felipe. Carol, I'll add some of those stretches to your workouts or to your day. Like with Felipe, what I did, I added every day those 10 minutes. So he did it every single day, because it's not like a training session. It's literally just a stretching and mobility. I'll send them over to you and see if you can do them, if that can help you as well. But it's a very good point that he mentioned. muted yourself. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was talking to somebody else.
Okay.
All right, but I was listening to you. So you're going to add the stretching exercise.
Yeah. And see how that helps you. Also the videos, and just understanding that it is part of the process too. Like Felipe said, and that's a very good point. You spend a lot of time, like a lot of years, not conscious of your own body, right? Not conscious of how you move, not conscious of how each body part of you move. And to try to do that now, it is hard, right? It's tough. Like it's been only 3 months, and as opposed to
3
an
months
entire life.
already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big challenge. Yeah, but I mean, I'm enjoying the process. It's
good.
quite fun and I'm learning a lot. But yeah, either I breathe or I focus on the muscle. But I know I will get better through the
Yes,
day.
you
So
will.
thank you so much for the tips, guys.
Thank you. As for the breathing and keeping your core tight, are you guys good with that, or would you like to get better at that?
I think for me, I think I do. Like, I think, no, I do. Like, I do get my core tight and stuff, but it depends on the exercise. Sometimes I feel difficulty because I'm focusing on, as I say, I'm not a coordinator person. So, so sometimes I switch my focus from my core, to the actual muscle that I'm paying attention to. But it's automatically, like I do automatically now, but sometimes because especially when it's a new workout or is a new week, sometimes I have this trouble. Not always, but some days I have trouble. Like sometimes I just like, oh, I forgot to.
It's normal, and it will become easier with time once you start getting more and more uncomfortable of what types of muscles you're trying to activate during a certain exercise. I'll give you an example, a very simple example, and I'm gonna stand up here just to show you. Okay. Here. Okay, so you guys know that if I'm doing a curl like this, I'm trying to work on my, oops, hold on. So here's a good example. So if I do a curl like this, I'm trying to work on my biceps, right?
Sorry, somebody was calling me and I just got lost.
No
Again,
problem.
no coordinator.
No problem.
But I think you got my question, right? Yeah.
Yes. And this is actually an example of how you're going to get better with time. The more you become conscious of what muscles you're working at each exercise. For example, the bicep curl, right? We're trying to work the biceps. But when you add resistance, when we add load, it becomes more difficult, and we actually have to use our core to stabilize our whole body to be able to do that movement. So here, it's a very, very heavy dumbbell for me, right? For a curl. I probably won't be able to do more than 1 rep. But if I'm doing like, let me try and use the resistance bands as an example. Okay. It's gonna be the same movement. The curl, right? Bicep curl. I'll go here and I'll do this. I can do this all day. It's not challenging. Like I can feel that this muscle is working, but the rest of my body, I can stay relaxed like this, totally relaxed, and I can still do it. Now, when I grab a weight like this and I try to do a curl, then it's tough. Then if I don't tighten my core here, if I don't have both of my feet flat on the floor, and if I don't have good posture, and when I say stabilize your core, it's the muscles of your abs and the muscles of your glutes, right? So everything here is tight, right? Think about your ribs being closed down here. I'm still breathing, but this is stabilized. Now I'm gonna try to do the bicep curl. See, for me to be able to lift this weight with this muscle here, I had to stabilize everything else. If I'm here, just like totally relaxed, I would never be able to do that. It's a lot heavier. So once you understand that your core and your whole entire body has to stabilize the movement, even for the single joint exercises, and when you understand what exactly you're working, then it will become more automatic for you to tighten everything up. So it's not that I'm so weak, I can't lift that. No, wait, tighten everything up and try and do it, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but the more you become aware of what are the muscles that you're working, what you're trying to accomplish, and once you understand that pretty much your whole trunk is your core, it becomes easier. Not easier, but at least you become more conscious of what you're doing, and tightening the core will become automatic for you to be able to do more with quality. Does that make sense?
Oh my, I think totally. For my chin up is when I hear that, it's pretty much actually the difference between the first week to the second and afterwards.
Yeah.
Was that I could control better the movement when I was actually focused on my abs, which is weird, but makes sense.
Yep. For the chin up, for the push up, you have to have your whole trunk contracted. So with your abs, you think about closing down your ribs, right? So the best example that I can give is when you sneeze, when you cough, put your finger here in your cells, of course, but when you sneeze or when you cough or when you're trying to poop, you tighten this, right? That's when you activate this. You can feel it. And you can also feel that when you do that, your ribs are closed. Your ribs are closed. You can't let your ribs open. So that's the easiest cue that you can have. Like, think about exhaling all the air, closing down your ribs, and keeping it nice and tight, as if you were trying to poop, but you're not actually pooping. And then the rest will follow. Always shoulders back and down, right? You're trying to pinch these two parts together. So not like this, like this. And then squeezing the glutes for all movements, for pretty much all movements. This is the base of any strength exercise to be performed well. Make sense, guys?
Yeah, that was very interesting. I almost feel like working out right now. Almost. But I think one day we can have like a video chat class. I don't know, doing everybody at the same time and trying new workouts. But it was very, I have to go. That's why I interrupted you. It was very, very nice. Thank you so much, Andrea, and
Thanks
everybody.
for popping in.
And I will try to remember all that information next time I work out. Okay.
This time I'm recording, so I'm gonna upload it on YouTube and you can see it later.
Oh, yes, that's very nice. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
You too. Thanks
you
for
next
popping
week.
in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, do you have any other questions for me regarding any exercise in particular, any training in general?
No,
No?
it's more like I will need to buy weights. Damn it. Damn you, Andrea.
I'm actually working on this list here because well, lockdowns and COVID is not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
I think we still have a few months or possibly even more of us trying to make it work at home. And to be completely honest with you guys, we can make improvements with resistance bands. We can try to work with adapted home weights, but there are certain things that will help you guys a lot, that will help with your progress. And that includes a chin-up bar, that includes certain types of resistance bands, right? So I told you, you guys probably all have this ones, but like this ones would be incredibly helpful too, to add on some options. The glute bands, most of you already have that. Adjustable dumbbells, definitely something that you should look into, because that can help add load and add a more variety of exercises. A bench is something that I would also recommend, and it's cheap. I paid, I think, 130 something, 150 on my bench, and definitely makes a difference because you can there's more, it's better to work with the bench than with your couch, of course, if you have space, right? Like that's based on your on the space that you have at home and available budget as well. But a bench would be good. Adjustable dumbbells, glute band, resistance bands, chin-up bar, a Swiss ball, like that ball that I work with over there.
This is I don't have actually exercise with this ball, maybe because I don't have it.
Correct.
But do you think is actually is I could actually have anything even for me that could help with this ball, because Charlie could play with this as well, so I can help you.
I think he'll rip it apart, but okay. And it actually took me a long time to buy one, and I felt that I should have bought it before, because there's so many things that you can do. There's so many core exercises that you can do, hamstring works that you can do, so for your legs, and yeah, for core and for your legs, especially hamstrings, it's very helpful, and it's cheap too. It's like 20-30 bucks.
Makes sense.
So it's worth it for the amount of money that is. I think it's worth it because it adds more variety, it adds more options to your exercises. And yeah, Swiss balls, pull-up bands, bench, adjustable dumbbells, glute band, resistance bands, chin-up bars. I think that would be a good home setup. Of course, you don't have to have all that right up front. But again, as you make progress on your program, you're going to need more accessory stuff. You're going to need more equipment to help you continue to make progress, right? If we were at the gym, it would be a lot easier because we would be able to use all the machines and all the free weights in the world and the Smith machine, and it's a lot more fun. But at home, we have limited ability to make it work. And like I said, we can make it work for a while. You can make, depending on where you're starting, if you're starting from zero, you can make really good progress with just resistance bands or body work. but it will come to a point that we have to have a little bit more to actually take you to the next level, right? To actually help you continue to make progress and not just do random workouts for the sake of doing workouts, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I feel that is happening to me. Because now I'm stronger. So before, now I can lift like 8 kilograms. I think I can lift 10 kilograms, like doing a certain amount of repetitions, but 10 kilograms in stuff, it's a lot for you to put in a backpack. So I don't have like tiny little things that are heavy. You know what I mean? So the things that I have is like 1 kilogram, 2 kilograms, like huge things,
That's
right?
not enough.
Of base, like, so that's the part I'm getting like more difficult. And then I feel like I could definitely
Lift
I
more.
like you. Yeah, I'm totally like you. I hate doing like 30 repetitions. I rather do 10 with 30 kilograms or I don't know, 20 pounds or whatever than, so I rather doing less repetition but with more heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's just time now.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I actually had this idea now, but I'm setting up this little mini gym here in my basement. So I should start buying stuff on the 1st of May. So it might take a few days to get here, blah, blah, blah. But soon I should have like a pretty good setup. I'm buying like a squat rack, the barbell and some plates. So it should look almost like a gym. And you guys that are here in Toronto, we should do like maybe once a month, we should get together and do a workout together here.
I appreciate it. So,
Yeah.
And Bruna, you can have the Louise gyms as well. You have a dog to visit, so you can come. But
if you guys don't mind driving all the way to Stouffville, but I think it would be a good opportunity for us to, get to know each other in person and work out together and add a little bit of extra motivation there. So
for sure.
Definitely gotta take a 3 days rest before. So set up the date, and then I'll take a week of vacation because probably you're gonna kill me in half, but that's okay.
It makes a difference, guys. I'm telling you, working out with somebody else makes so much difference. For myself, because I told you guys that I'm part of this business mastermind, and he once a month he does that. Once a month he gets together with all of us fitness coaches to train together, and he creates the workout. Vincent Del Monte, if you guys don't know of him, he's been in the industry for like 15 years or so. So he knows what he's doing. And on the first workout that I did with them, I'm like, oh my God, I know nothing, because I was crushed for like a week. And the difference that it makes to have someone there with you, it makes such a great difference. And the environment and the people, it gives it a little extra boost. So I just thought of maybe doing the same here with you guys that are here in Toronto, or even Cibele. I know you're in Montreal, but it's just a 6-hour drive. So yeah, I think we can push ourselves.
Yeah, it's pretty close
by doing that. Yeah. I lost my train of thought, but I was talking about gym equipment, right? To have at home. Oh yes, I was gonna ask you guys, what are your favorite or the most realistic and favorite workout split per week? 3 days per week, 4 days per week, 5 days per week.
For me, 3.
3?
Felipe. 3 but I also like, to be honest, if it was before, I would say I hate more than 3, but because you made me do the glutens separate, I kind of miss that. I don't know. It's weird. It's strange even for me to say out loud because I hate gym. And now I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm asking to put the glutens workouts, but I really liked the glutens workouts, to be honest, because I enjoy it, that one, right? I hate upper body, but yeah, but I to be honest, it's three times a week for me, but the glutens, I really enjoy it to do it. So
okay. Felipe, what do you think?
I think, yeah, it's interesting because the way that my routine is working here, I think not actually 5 days, but for example, and I was going to actually ask you anyways, for example, for this ABS training for the core, as you said, and actually with this ball, for example, if I could actually have a small exercises to do between the 3 main trainings, keep resting the body, but doing something. Because it's interesting, because now I'm walking with Charlie, and now he's getting dead.
Okay.
So before I got dead before, with the dog actually was, and I was, let's go home. And actually now it's changing, So I cannot actually not keeping walking, and actually I'm actually doing 12, 13, 14,000 steps per day. So if I could actually have something to actually calm me down between 3 main sessions, I think would help.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if it makes sense.
It does. It does. I'm just thinking here, but probably, yeah. Because some people, they do have that. Fewer, shorter exercises, workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays in between those 3 main ones. Or we can do a split, like Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays off, and then Thursdays and Fridays. So we can do that way too. What do you guys think, Jessica and Sibeli?
For me, currently, I really like the way you have divided the set of workouts for me, because I have the 3 like mandatory main ones.
Okay.
And in between, I have other 2 that are sort of optional that I always try to do.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, sometimes I cannot do it just because of the routine, but I like having the option of having them available to do if I have some time to spare. So for me, it's really working as it is. The 3 mandatory plus the 2 other ones in between
optional.
There are.
And do you think,
I really like this distribution?
And do you think that would work better than a 4-day split, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then Thursday, Friday?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I never thought differently, because actually what I usually do, I kind of adapt to my working routine. So sometimes for some reason I cannot do the workout on Monday, and I do it on Tuesday, and then the one of Tuesday I would do it on Saturday, because sometimes during the weekends I get bored and I like to do some exercising, and then sometimes this is what I usually do. So I feel like the diet, everything is flexible. I make so that's why I think it works really well for me. But I think the other way around wouldn't be a problem as well.
Okay, sounds good. Jessica,
yeah,
are you still with us?
Yes. So I think the way that you gave to me, it's gonna work, but the other way is to like, it just doesn't matter, like, because I wake up same time, so I have to do it, and that's it.
Okay, so you don't mind having to
Yeah.
do a little bit more. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's good to know, guys. That's good to know. So yeah, does anybody have any other questions regarding training? You're all good? If you're all good, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here with me, spending this time. And if you guys have any questions, any additional questions, you can send me a message. You can post it on the Facebook group. You can post it on the chat. There's no such a thing as stupid questions. So ask questions to make sure you understand everything. And yeah, let's have a great night and a great rest of the week, guys. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
one,
you.
you
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.